been in a conversation, smiling and nodding, but inside your mind is screaming, "What did they just say?"
You're not alone. It happens to almost every English learner. You want to be polite, so you pretend to understand, but this can lead to some interesting situations.
Welcome to English Audio Lab. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Trevor. We're here to help you build confidence in your English speaking and listening.
Today, we are talking about a very common problem. What to say when you don't understand, but you feel nervous about asking for help.
That's right. And stay with us because later in this lesson, we'll share a secret phrase that native speakers use all the time to ask for clarification without sounding rude. It's a great one to know.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. And if you're excited too, make sure you subscribe to English Audio Lab so you don't miss our future lessons.
So, Alicia, I hear you have a story about this very topic.
Oh, I do. It's a little embarrassing. A few years ago, I was at an international work conference. I was talking to a man from Australia during a coffee break.
Okay.
He was speaking very quickly, and his accent was new to me. He said something like, "We should catch up for a cuppa before the Arvo session, eh?"
Tuppa before the Arvo session. I see.
I had no idea what cuppa or Arvo meant, but I didn't want to look silly, so I just smiled and said, "Yes, definitely."
Oh no, what happened?
Well, he looked at me, waiting. I realized he was asking me to go for a coffee with him right then, but I had just agreed without understanding. I felt so awkward.
That's a perfect example. And for our listeners, cuppa is slang for cup of tea or coffee, and arvo is Australian slang for afternoon.
Exactly. I learned that the hard way. It would have been so much easier to just ask him what he meant.
Let's listen to another situation. Imagine two new colleagues, Mark and Sarah, are discussing a project. Listen to their dialogue. So, for the new project, we just need to circle back and touch base before we get our ducks in a row. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. So, you can handle the initial outreach then.
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's break that down. Alicia, what happened there?
Well, Sarah sounded very unsure at the end. I think she didn't understand Mark, but she agreed anyway. Mark used a lot of idioms.
Exactly. He used three common business idioms. The first one was circle back.
What does circle back mean?
It means to talk about something again later. For example, let's circle back to this idea in our next meeting.
Okay, discuss it again later. Got it. And what about touch base?
Touch base means to make contact with someone briefly, to check in. For example, I'll touch base with you tomorrow morning to see your progress.
Okay, that makes sense. The last one was really funny. Get our ducks in a row?
Yes, to get your ducks in a row means to get organized, to make sure everything is ready.
So Mark was saying they needed to get organized, but Sarah just agreed, and now she has a task she doesn't understand.
This is the danger of pretending. It can cause confusion and problems later. So, what could Sarah say instead? Let's practice some useful phrases. Here is our first phrase. It is simple, polite, and very effective. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Didn't quite catch that. It's a soft way of saying you didn't hear or understand.
Let's practice. First, we will say it slowly. Please repeat after me. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Great. Now let's try it at a more natural conversational speed. Repeat after Trevor.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Excellent. Okay, here is phrase number two. This one is perfect if the person is speaking too fast. Could you say that again, but a little slower?
This is so useful. I should have used this at my conference. Let me try. Could you say that again, but a little slowerly? Wait, that's not right.
Almost. That's a very common mistake. We just say slower. Slower is both an adjective and an adverb, so a little slower.
Ah, of course, slower. Thank you. Let's practice that, everyone.
Repeat slowly. Could you say that again, but a little slower. Now, at a natural pace, could you say that again, but a little slower?
I love that one. It feels very direct, but also very polite.
It is. And now for that secret phrase we promised. This one is advanced and it will make you sound very fluent and professional.
Okay, I'm ready.
The phrase is, I understood the part about topic, but could you explain what you mean by unclear phrase?
Wow, that is fantastic. It shows you were listening, but you just need help with one specific part.
Precisely. For example, Sarah could have said, I understood the part about the new project, but could you explain what you mean by get our ducks in a row?
That's so much better than just saying yes. Okay, let's practice this one. It's a little longer.
Let's try it. Repeat after me. I understood the part about the project, but could you explain what you mean by get our ducks in a row? Great job. This is a powerful tool for clear communication.
And if you're finding these phrases helpful, this is a great time to hit the subscribe button. It helps our channel grow and helps you continue learning with us.
Now, let's try to use these phrases in a different context. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and you meet someone new.
Okay, I'm imagining it. I have my coffee.
The person next to you smiles and says,
Hey, I'm just grabbing a coffee before I head out to see this new indie flick. It's supposed to be a real sleeper hit.
okay, listeners, imagine you don't know what indie flick or sleeper hit means. What would you say? Use one of our new phrases. Think about it.
A great friendly response would be something like, It's nice to meet you. I heard you say sleeper hit, but I'm not familiar with that term. Could you tell me what it means?
That's a perfect response, Alicia. It's curious and polite. It opens up the conversation. The other person will be happy to explain that an indie flick is an independent film, and a sleeper hit is a movie that becomes surprisingly successful.
And now you've learned new vocabulary and made a new connection, all because you weren't afraid to ask.
Okay, now it's your turn to speak. I am going to say something to you. I want you to respond out loud using one of the phrases we learned today. Are you ready? Here's the first one. Imagine I'm your manager. I say, we'll need to fast track this report to meet the EOD deadline. Respond out loud now.
Did you say something? A good answer would be, I'm sorry, what does EOD mean? Or even better, I understand you want the report quickly, but could you explain what EOD means?
Great examples. EOD means end of day. Let's try one more. Imagine a friend says this to you. I can't come to the party tonight. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. What do you say? Speak your answer now.
You could say, Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. What does under the weather mean exactly?
Perfect. Under the weather is an idiom that means feeling sick or unwell. Well done. Let's do one more, a bit more complex. You're getting technical support for your computer. The person says, okay, first you'll need to reboot the router, then clear your cache, and after that, we'll need to check the firewall setting. What would you say if you only understood the first step? Pick your answer now.
That was a tricky one with a lot of steps. This is a perfect time for our advanced phrase. You could say, Okay, I understood the part about rebooting the router, but could you explain what you mean by clear your cache?
Finally, let's talk about some real life tips to help you in these situations. My first tip is simple. It is always okay to be honest. Native speakers are not perfect. We sometimes misunderstand each other too. People will always prefer you to be honest so you can understand them clearly. Honesty builds trust. Confusion breaks it.
That's a great point. My tip is about body language. Sometimes you can show you don't understand without even speaking.
Right, what do you mean?
You can lean forward a little, tilt your head, or have a slightly confused look on your face. This signals to the other person that you might be lost, and they will often slow down or explain automatically.
That's a fantastic, subtle technique. My last tip is to paraphrase. That means repeating back what you did understand in your own words.
Oh, that's a good one.
For instance, if your manager mentions the EOD deadline, you could say, "Okay, so I need to finish the report today. I just wasn't sure what time you meant." This confirms your understanding and isolates the one part you need help with.
I love that. It shows you're engaged and really trying to communicate well.
That's a great set of general tips, Alicia. But what about different situations? Do these phrases work the same way in a formal business meeting versus a casual chat with friends? All right, let's do a quick summary of what we learned today.
First, we learned that pretending to understand can cause confusion. It's always better to be honest and ask for help.
Then we practiced three powerful and polite phrases to use. Number one was,
I'm sorry I didn't quite catch that.
number two was,
Could you say that again, but a little slower?
and our advanced secret phrase was,
I understood the part about X, but could you explain what you mean by Y?
and finally, remember to use body language and paraphrasing to help make your communication even clearer. Before we go, we want to leave you with an important thought. Learning a language is a journey. It is not about being perfect.
Right. It's about connection. It's about communicating with other people.
Every time you ask a question, you are not failing. You are learning. You are being brave.
Exactly. Be proud of that. You're doing an amazing job just by being here and listening.
If this lesson helped you feel a little more confident today, please subscribe to English Audio Lab. We release new lessons every week to help you on your journey.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. We'll talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.